Hello and welcome to my blog. Today I am going to be talking about the law of attraction. So probably a lot of you have heard of the law of attraction and The Secret and like attracts like, etc. So I have a couple cool stories of how the law of attraction has worked for me, and it literally, this shit works like wildfire. It's fucking awesome. I'm super excited. So there's a couple stories. So one that I would like to talk about on the top of my head is last year we were living in town, like right in town, and I hated it. Like absolutely hated it. First, I was living in a little apartment, and then when I got pregnant with Hartley, we moved into this house into town, and then we were just not happy. So I was kind of like, well, I haven't really stayed in a place, like one house or one place, for more than a year, like since I moved. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. But I haven't actually just like made a home and started growing some roots again. So I was like, well, maybe we could stay here. But then our landlord ended up raising the rent. So we're like, okay, perfect opportunity to find something else. So it's like, okay, let's put out there in the universe. I made a Facebook post on rentals and real estate. And there's always so many people like looking for rentals, and it's not easy to find a rental in Williams Lake. So I made a post that, we're looking for a house, preferably out of town would be like a bonus. And yeah, we're looking to downsize from the house that we're in because it was huge. It was a 4-bedroom house and we did not need that. So it was literally 2 days later, a lady messaged me and said, well, I have this house and it's 5 minutes from Walmart. And I'm like, oh, perfect, So we did a drive-by, and I messaged her right away, and I was like, absolutely, yes. Like, once you get this tingling feeling, this yes feeling, when something is true for you, you'll literally feel it in your bones, and you'll get all tingly, and you'll feel like a little kid again. And I love this feeling. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we moved in not too much long later, and it was a great house for us, and we did love it. Like, it wasn't as much property. It's 2 acres, which is lots for just outside of Williams Lake, and very grateful 100%. But I am a horse girl. I love horses, and I know that I want them in my life again, especially for my girls. I'd love to get them a pony. Hartley loves horses so much already, so I'm just like, yeah, okay. okay, so maybe we aren't as happy here as we thought. So I was talking with my husband. I was like, well, I do want horses again, and I'm missing that from my life. Like, I desire to, live like I used to, go back to my roots, like how I did when I lived, up in Hazelton, and how we just always rode all the time, and gardened, and lived off the land, like, kind of thing. And I miss that. I miss it so much. So I was like, well, we're happy here though. We're okay. Like, we're fine. We have a place. We're having a baby next month, or I'm 35 weeks and 2 days today, so could be in a couple weeks. So I'm just like, well. But then the other day, my landlord messaged me and was like, hey, so would love to get a real estate over. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, don't panic. So a realtor came to estimate the house, and I'm just like, I cried. I was upset. I was like, what do we do now? We have dogs. We have 3 big dogs and everything. And I'm just like, once I had my good cry and everything, I talked to my husband, and I was like, okay, well, maybe this is a blessing in disguise, because we were, talking about, how we would desire more acreage and stuff and to have a home of our own. So yeah, I put a post out there again, another post, and I had somebody message me the next day. We're sitting at the table and I said, oh my gosh, somebody messaged me. And I looked at it and the guy was like, it's 10 acres and it's in Big Lake. So I asked Jeremy, I was like, are you okay with living in Big Lake? Like, I'm okay with it. I lived out of town always. And I like it. I don't mind it. I don't mind driving. And he said, oh, probably, yeah, it'd be an adjustment and stuff. And there is pros and cons to it. But I messaged the guy and I was like, well, can we view it? And he said, yeah, maybe tomorrow morning. I'm like, yeah, perfect. So we drove out there, met him, and viewed the place, and we fell in love. And we're moving in next month, August 1st. So we're moving in, we found a place within a day. So thank you, Law of Attraction. I'm so grateful, and it's exactly what I was picturing. I mean, the place, it's small, it's like a shack, but it reminds me kind of like the house I grew up in. It has like this loft for the bedroom, and downstairs the girls' room down there, and we can make it work. And it's got like a cool like country hippie vibe, and it's so us. Like, I am so excited, and it's gonna be awesome raising our girls there. And it's far from the road, so we don't have to worry about the dogs, and there's just so many possibilities now for us. Like, I'm so excited. So yeah, literally, like, you can put it out there to the universe, and as long as you're willing to receive, then possibilities happen. Now, another story about this, which is very fitting. I didn't have my own car. So we have a truck, and it's a great truck. We love it. It's our dream truck, but I kind of hate parking it sometimes, and it kind of sucks running around on the fuel. Like, it's not absolutely practical if you're running around a lot. And so I was like, well, I want my own car too, but I can't have a car payment because that just doesn't make any sense. So I was kind of, humming and hawing on a lot of stuff. And then my mom, she works at Ford in Prince George, and she said, well, I got this Jetta on a trade. And it's very funny because I was like, to Jeremy, I was like, man, I want a car, but I want something that's not gonna cost us a lot of money and that we can save money to commute and stuff like that. And I'm like, what about like a Jetta diesel? I would love to have one of those. And he is a mechanic. He likes to, well, he's not actual mechanic, but it's his like hobby. It's what he loves to do. He tinkers and mechanics, and he can fix things, and he impresses me with that. So I'm like, yeah, well, I can have an older car. So, because, my husband is pretty good at that. And my mom messaged me and was like, well, I thought of you when I took this car in on a trade. And I'm like, oh my God. So it's 2006 Volkswagen Jetta diesel, and a retired couple owned it, and they run their grandkids around in it. So I know, like, I'm okay with, having the kids in the car and stuff, and it's got to be safe and well kept because it does have high kilometers on it. But we were able to get a freaking awesome deal. Like, it literally fell right in my lap once I was specifically asked the universe for something. Like, that's the thing, you got to be specific. So yeah, and a week later, I brought the car home. Now we have the car. We're living out of town. It's great to commute with because it doesn't cost a lot of money, and I absolutely love it. And I'm more grateful now. Like, I am so grateful for all of it. Like, it's so amazing how it works. Because I was stuck in that, like, new car mentality too. Like, oh, well, I want this, and well, if I'm getting this, well, then that. And no, it's okay. Like, the car has no AC, and that's fine. It's older. It only has a CD player and doesn't have Bluetooth, and I'm okay with that. I fucking love it. And it does the job, and it's great for us to have. So yes, Thank you, universe. Thank you, law of attraction. And stay tuned because, yeah, this is going to be an adventure moving out to this place. We're having a baby in the middle of all this. Moving out to the boonies, readjusting, totally rearranging our lives. And I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm ready for this change. So bring it on. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I will see you next Wednesday. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in.